Good morning. Tommy Grisafi with Advanced Trading. We got an action-packed show. Producer Rick, Producer Joe, I hear a little echoing. I think I'm double logged in. Hey, Connor, you take over for a second. I'm going to pop out and pop right back in, buddy.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show as Tommy G figures out those sound problems. We'll get them figured out soon. We got an action-packed day to kick things off. We've got Henry Kissinger passed away at 100 years old, right? The polarizing Secretary of State, Nobel Peace Prize winner. Either you loved him or you hated him back in the day. Died at the ripe old age of 100. And so other news we got. Tommy G, we got you back on.
You have one of me. Do you have two of me? Or
I think you look great. You sound great. Do you feel great?
I do. I think I was logged in. One of the beauties of live TV is you get to watch the airs. One more for the blooper reel. Where are we on the news cycle, sir?
We got Henry Kissinger passing away. You can take over on the initial claims.
Yeah. So Henry Kissinger, bad day to be 99 or 100. It's just not looking good for folks up on that level. Henry Kissinger, an absolute legend. About a year ago, Connor, I read a book called Limit Up. If you guys go out there on Amazon, Google it, the book Limit Up. And we were counting on our fingers before the show how many presidents ago Henry Kissinger was Secretary of State under Ford and Nixon. And I always tease you about your age. I'm pretty confident you weren't born yet, but we're talking 7, 8 presidents ago. But what's so important in Henry Kissinger was why are we talking about Henry Kissinger on ATI ProMedia? Henry Kissinger was one of the main components of the great Russian grain robbery. Read the book, right. Limit Up. You will be fascinated. Okay, let's get back into today. Initial claims. A few less people are working, or at least people are staying on employment just a little bit longer. And with that, these Fed cuts, the Fed raising rates is starting to work. Now, the thing we're going to talk about, Connor, is will we truly be able to have a soft landing? That's the weird area where when we talk about the financial markets, and we constantly have data that comes out at 7:30 in the morning, a little 8:30, 9 o'clock numbers. What's it mean? How's the economy doing? Things feel good and robust. I'll tell you, we had a good group of people. Yesterday, we spoke for Wiffles Hybrids over there in Davenport, Iowa, and the Iowa farmer is extremely optimistic. They're bullish agriculture. They are not happy on how D's corn sold off into December expiration. But we do have some good news to report about December corn today. Back to you, my friend.
Yes, sir. First thing we got, CME lowers margins 10%, right? D's 23 falls off the board. That margin requirement lowers 10%. Big reduction. Other things, just banging them out. Flash sale to China, 4.9 million bushels of soybeans. Good to see. We'll keep looking at exports as we go forward. And then the other thing, Tommy, we got D's 23. First notice day is today. D's 23 options expired Friday. That's off the board. We had an ugly Friday, Monday, not a great week. We got March corn up 7, I believe. So feels like a nice rally, right? D's 23 off the board. Do we get that huge, the largest open interest getting that contract out of the way? Now, do you think we kind of found a bottom? Do we have a little bit chance to rebound here?
I can tell you from the phone calls I received yesterday that even a farmer who loves a forward sale, if your bushels were better than expected, which many people had in parts of the country, there's people who just didn't have enough room to store their corn. So they brought it to town. They were hoping for a rally. Not only did they not get a rally, they had the exact opposite of that, where that D-Smart spread really widened. And when you look at D's, we're at a wide level. Think about what happened back when we had November go off. Remember November, how much we traded down?
Absolutely.
And you and I both, we talked to clients all day yesterday and the day before asking them to please repurchase a March call option. It's not too late. I mean, if you were buying the 480s yesterday, you could buy a 490 today. Nothing, the first 7 cents doesn't mean you missed a big rally, but we do have to talk about this. What would a big rally look like? Would a big rally look like 70 cents? The options market, Connor, doesn't really foresee if we have a 70-cent rally coming in corn, and China's going to, they say, the rumor mill, possibly buy a bunch of corn, and we are competitive. I just spoke with Dr. Larry, and he said we're competitive. We're competitive to Japan, to China, right out of the PNW. We can get a lot, and North Dakota has a lot of corn. So that's interesting for the folks up north. we'll watch that rail market. We'll watch those bids come out of the PNW. But what are you telling clients? Like, yeah, sure, corn could rally. I mean, it's not hard to say, right? 5 weeks ago, we were at 510. Now we're at 450. Can corn rally? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But what's a rally look like? So keep modest expectations of what a move looks like.
Question for you, Tommy. You were up in Davenport with those Wiffles guys. We've got, we're off record income years. Farmers are, pretty financially healthy right now. We finally, something we haven't seen, right? That D-Smarch carry, 20 cents. That's a record. We're used to an inverted market. Our guys, if we haven't priced corn, my question is, are we going to take in that carry? Are we going to sit on grain? Our guys going to sit on it and wait for it and maybe cash flow with soybeans with higher prices? It kind of leads into my slide there. But what were guys saying out there?
We went a little different direction. I love talking about interest rates. We talked about interest rates a lot. And then I got the crowd going. I asked the crowd, why do we not have a farm bill? Why are we sending money to every country in the world, yet our elected officials cannot get together to get a United States farm bill? That got the crowd going. And it was kind of like in Blues Brothers, they were throwing the bottles at stage. No, actually, they weren't mad at me. They should be mad at their elected officials. And we did talk about that. I had asked, let's not market grain. Here's what my speech was, if you're asking. My speech was, let's pretend we're awesome. Let's pretend we're the best farmer in the world. If we're in Scott County in Iowa and land is traded at $18,000 per acre, let's pretend we're awesome. In 2024, if you'd like to make 50 cents more a bushel, then sell 2024. I said, let's not market grain like we're a Cubs fan and we're always talking about next year. And then we win the World Series twice every 100 years. Let's get back to the basics and get back to winning. And then we got them all revved up on politics, and then we left the show.
You're getting me revved up. I love these analogies. I love hating on the Cubs. But let's kick it over. Looking at soybeans, right? Corn, soybeans. Here's an interesting thing we're seeing this year is we've got corn supplies jumping up significantly, bean supply reduction. So nice chart by Reuters here that we can see is you can see 2024, we got corn year-on-year increase of 10%, soybeans negative 5% decrease. As you can see, we only have certain years where we see something like that. And so I saw that, and that was supposed to be the focus. But you know what really jumped out at me? Look at 13-14 over there in the corner, right? We have corn up 22%, soybeans grew 10%, right? What did we have the year before? 2012, right? Looking at that thing. So makes it interesting. And then I start thinking, right now we got corn soybean ratio for 24 at a little over 2.5. I think 2.52 is what Brady told me before we started. And so when we look at that, then my mind starts running at acreage intentions for next year, right? Our guys looking at planting soybeans with these prices. Now, when we're talking a year in advance, right? This time last year, we would have said, well, we got the most expensive corn crop going in the ground. Guys are going to plant soybeans. We would have been dead wrong. The U.S. farmer planted 94 million acres at a record. So, but it gets you thinking, right? Are we going to see a shift? And what are we going to see, right? Hopefully we got a nice little rally in corn going that we can see corn gain some traction on soybeans. But right now, the math pencils to soybeans, Tommy.
Yeah. Also, kind of going back to the crowd at Wiffles last night in Davenport, they asked, why didn't you talk about soybeans? And as you know, Wiffles only produces the best corn hybrids in the world. So I didn't touch on soybeans, but they wanted me to. And the question is, should we plant more soybeans next year? And I said, what could you have a record crop of? Do you think you could have another great corn yield or bean yield? And the American farmer not always, most of the time suggests that if we were to have a surprise year, it comes in the corn. The American farmer loves growing corn. With Absolutely. That, Connor, how do people get a hold of us? I understand now we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we have all that good stuff, right?
Spotify, Apple. We're live on YouTube every day at 9. Feel free to give us a call if you got any questions. Drop a comment sometimes. Hopefully tomorrow we can get a few.
Yeah, no comments in there in the comment. We might have to start giving away prizes, huh? How about tomorrow? We give away American flag. If you love America, we don't have Canadian flags here. No offense to Canada, but we'll give away a beautiful American flag. Drop a comment. And with that, I think Gina G is going to wrap up the show. Before we go, though, keep an eye on those cattle again. Cattle down 200, feeders down 300, corn, beans, wheat up, crude oil, OPEC meeting, big day, great show. Hey, like Brady Huck does. Brady tells himself, great show before it ends. I love it. All right, let's have Gina G close it up. Thanks, everyone. See you at 9 tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.